Okay, that's fine.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought we were done, and yeah, it is a little crooked, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll deal with it. Yeah, I thought we were done, but I had forgotten completely about my final thoughts for the trip.
Well, we're not home yet, but
We're still in Seattle, in the Red Roof Inn hotel I showed you, with the playground view and people rushing about outside.
so you'll probably pick up some noise, but sorry about that.
Anyway, do you want to go first? Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I don't know if Josh was mentioned it, but we were both kind of disappointed with Juneau and Skagway, and then we went to Ketchikan.
Well, Ketchikan was great.
And I could live in Ketchikan.
No, I
I'm not going to, but I could.
I didn't mention that all that much, no.
But it was like your little hometown. They even had the 60s diner.
That was fun. I did record the 50s Nostalgia Cafe.
And it was fun. Expensive, but fun.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was.
It was a
People
welcome
were cool. And
It was a welcome break from what we were getting.
one thing I wanted to do, but I didn't do because I was afraid to do, because I didn't really have the greatest health while I was there. My stomach was messed up, but I wanted to try reindeer sausage, but I just didn't do it. I was afraid to.
I could have gotten a reindeer dog at the 50s Cafe, but I chose not to.
But I did get a root beer milkshake, which is something I'd never had before.
Yeah, you did a root beer milkshake. I did a cheesecake milkshake,
Yeah.
which rhymed, and I like that.
Cheesecake milkshake. Yes.
But, yeah, I had expectations going into Alaska that were kind of soiled by Juneau and Sagway, particularly Sagway. I was expecting the normal tourist tchotchke places, that would be fine.
Uh-huh.
And then the occasional jewelry store. I mean, they're mining facilities sort of, but communities. But I did not expect almost every shop to be a jewelry store, and almost every one of them being full of incredibly high pressure. Won't say no for an answer. You tell them you can't afford something, they just send you to the next thing, which is either just as expensive or just a little bit less expensive, as if just a couple dollars was your cutoff point.
Right. Now, I will say, even in Ketchikan, they had, believe it or not, 45 jewelry stores.
Yeah, but
But they weren't high pressure at all.
And it didn't feel that way as much because...
But when you walk down the street in Juneau, for example, every store to every other store was a jewelry store. Diamonds International and Tanzanite International were the two big ones.
Just dominated almost
all of it. And they
all
were associated with the cruise line, unfortunately. So it was push the cruise people to buy from them, don't let them go anywhere else, get their money before somebody else gets it.
And the charm necklace thing was just a trap to get you in there.
Right, they would give you a charm for a bracelet every time you went in. And
to each location.
And it was free, but sometimes you had to try on a piece of jewelry or with a sales pitch attached, almost always. Why don't you look at this while I'm back here getting this?
Oh, I'm gonna look, but with my eyes and not my paycheck.
But we did meet a wonderful
There was
fellow.
a good jeweler, and I think I have his card, and he's pretty much going to be the guy we go to from now on. But
Right.
the real point was, that's tilting more and more, isn't it? I'm probably going to have to catch that before it falls.
Let's see if I can get it.
But
Better?
much better. As long as you're still in the shot. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good
I'm here.
enough.
I'm here.
I guess the point was, it sucked the soul away from each port.
It did. And we didn't go on a lot of excursions
That
because
could have helped, maybe, but...
Maybe, but when you think about it, as we were getting ready to leave last night, this gentleman was speaking with his wife, and I wasn't trying to overhear the conversation, but when you're sitting right there.
It happens
You hear the
behind me.
conversation. But I was looking out at the ocean, just kind of trying not to pay attention. But he asked her if she was going to have anything to drink last night, and she said she was thinking it over. And he told her to keep thinking because he had paid their liquor bill, and it was $600. Now that is an expensive
That's a lot.
drinking habit. Okay.
He also mentioned how much he spent on the excursions.
Right, and he said the excursions were like $4,000. So like for Joshua and I, if we had gone on, it would depend on the excursion. They went anywhere from, excuse me, there's a siren. I'm in here, guys. Oh, there's the little tours around the town, and they were like $35, $45 per person. So that wouldn't have been too bad. But they could range all the way up to $700 per person. And that's like, no.
I'm glad we took the tour in Ketchikan, though. That one was worth it.
Me too. That was fun. And we got a discount on it. So
That wasn't much of one, but it was a discount.
$5 a piece.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. We got to see an eagle on the nest. The male eagle was on the nest.
Yeah, those highlights I actually have included.
And there was a bear in the edge of the woods, but you really kind of needed binoculars to see
Yeah,
it.
I didn't get to catch the bear.
It was a female brown bear. They said she was about 2 years.
2 years.
Old. Yeah, 2 years old. But my very favorite thing, puppies.
Oh yeah, they had husky puppies on the cruise at one point. They let you interact with them because that's part of their training.
Right, they're going to be sled dogs, so they have to
Be sociable.
get along with people. And it was just, they were sweet. They really were. I didn't get to hold him, but I got to pet Burger King. His name was Burger
his name was
King.
Burger King. That entire litter was named after fast food places.
Yeah, there was Wendy's, Burger King, KFC, Jack in the Box, Chick-fil-A. There's 2 more.
I don't know.
Roosters and Roy Rogers.
Yeah, and I have to apologize because a cell phone sitting on a bed makes a terrible tripod, especially when it's going off a little bit.
Oh, is it?
It went off a couple times during our talking.
Sorry.
It's fine, we'll take care of it.
Yeah, I should have.
I won't fix it in editing because that's going to be hard to do. But
It'll be all right. Ignore it.
yeah,
So,
that's why I had to
you know,
apologize.
We improvise.
One thing that did make my entire cruise. It's on our way. It's on our way back, as you know. It's on our way back, and we're sailing back to
Victoria.
it was to Victoria in British Columbia, Canada. We're almost there, and we look out the side of the window to the ocean, and there's a little tiny toy sailboat sailing in the opposite direction away from us.
A little wooden sailboat. It had to have been about this big. I mean, because it looked like it was this big. We were up 15 stories,
And-
so. But it and there it goes.
And they're like, "How are you not sunk? You're in the middle of the ocean."
And it was just going.
And it's like that made my day. I enjoyed that greatly.
Only thing that would have been better would be like if a seagull had landed on it or
The
something.
seagull was like writing it. Then it was like Captain something.
Yeah.
Arr. Well, that was great. And we knew we weren't crazy because we even called one of the waiters over and he saw it.
He's like, well, how did that get out there?
Yeah.
Shoot.
It's like, we're about as perplexed as you are. I don't know how it's not sunk.
It may be now, but I doubt it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Depends on if they had calm seas around that area
That's
the
true.
last couple days.
That's true.
Because that's the only thing that was
They may
keeping
have
it.
had it sealed though, and if they did, it might not take on water.
I don't know.
Because driftwood floats, and it's
I kind of enjoy the idea of it reaching a foreign shore at one point.
that'd be great, especially if somebody put a phone
And
number on it. Call if you find
I
it.
think that would be a great premise for like a family movie.
Yeah.
It was like big event and the big voyage of a little boat. It's like a little boat's just trying to get back to the boy who loved him, and he went across the sea, so he's gonna have to go across the sea.
And he sailed.
It's a family movie.
Or he sails all the way around the world.
Yeah, a family movie. It'd be great.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
Little boats, big adventures.
Yeah. That's about it, as far as I can think of.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to getting home and talking to the cats who are, as I understand it, meowing up a storm, and picking up the dog and getting back to all the drama that is our life.
Yeah. So, I guess it was worth it. Just be a little careful, because some parts of it can be disappointing.
It can be, it certainly can be. And, we've seen the best in people and we have seen the worst
Oh,
in
yeah.
people.
People were being so terrible to the wait staff.
It was awful. And not only that, when they had the puppies on, they said that they weren't going to let us hold them because, well, that's really not good for a
you
puppy
can
to be held over and over and over and over.
You can interact, but not...
So we got to pet them, and they kissed us on the cheeks and things like that. And this one guy comes over to the lady, and he just snatches the puppy out of her hands, and he says, "Let my wife hold him." And he grabs the puppy and plops it down in his wife's lap, and the dog's not reacting to her at all. As a matter of fact, it's just sitting there like, "What did you just do?" And finally, the lady had to come over, the staff had to come over and get the puppy.
Yeah.
And,
See,
put it in its little, they called it a timeout pin, but it was its rest pin. And that's not good for the dog.
I don't know the cruise ship's policy on security, but I half imagine, if they were allowed to, those guys would have been thrown off the boat.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it wasn't the wife's fault.
No.
I'm pretty sure that she was handicapped or something, but the husband, I believe, was just about half lit.
Probably.
And I mean, almost everybody was
most
half
people
lit
were
on that
drunk
boat.
all the time.
I mean, you could hear people puking their socks up anytime, day or night.
So yeah,
It wasn't seasickness.
So do expect that not the cruise staff, but the fellow passengers are likely to be jerks if you go on a cruise.
But one fellow I want to give a shout out to, and that's Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, our steward. He was
He
great.
took care of us. He never complained. He'd come by 9, 10 o'clock at night. "Would you like me to clean your room?" "No, it's late, dude.
Morning and evening, that's what he'd do.
It's late, dude. No, go get some sleep." It's like, no.
He has to though.
I know.
That's how I do it.
But he earned that gratuity that they took out of the...
Although I have my own misgivings about my own problems with forced gratuity, with stuff that's like, "Oh, we're charging it to you. It's not your choice."
Right.
And it's
almost
and it's
$16 a day or something.
between the two of us, it was $13.50 for each
Right,
person, so it
right.
was like $27 per day. But gratuity, which is to show gratitude, but you don't have a choice on it.
Right.
I was like,
Because they take it off your ship card.
I was going to anyway. I mean, I was probably going to leave a tip anyway.
Right.
But being forced to takes away the spirit. I didn't.
And in all likelihood, it would have been that much or more every day. But that's not the point.
No, that's not the point. I would have. It would have been my choice to show gratitude
However,
to the person that deserves it.
the staff was extremely nice and very, very understanding about everything. And tell them about the one lady that said, "Where can I go to eat?" And then
Oh yeah, that was like
yesterday.
it was either this morning. No, it was last night.
It was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, it was last night. On the ship, we were sitting down. We were watching us slowly get into Victoria, and there was this one lady. She walked up to one of the staff members who was
Chinese?
or Philippines or one of those ethnic areas. I don't want to say Oriental. That's considered racist. An Asian of some kind. But and she asked where she can go to eat, and it's this late into the journey. She should have known all the places anyway.
Right,
but
day before we're leaving.
But besides that, he pointed her into the direction of the buffet place, which is where she ultimately went. But after he pointed it to her, she went. She just talked louder each time. "To eat," yeah, as if It's like, no, he's understood you. He pointed you in the direction. You're acting racist and stupid, thinking that he didn't understand you. He did the first time.
And he answered you
And
the first time.
talking louder and slower
Doesn't help.
help ever.
No. May just want to jump up and say, lady, look.
First off, that way to the to that.
And he heard you, and he understood you.
He answered you
There's
the
no
first
point
time.
in yelling at the man.
Mhm.
It doesn't make anybody any happier, least of all your fellow passengers. And I'm sure it makes him feel very degraded. So, you walk that way, turn right, turn left, and bingo, you're right there.
Yeah.
But I was tired and grumpy, and I knew if I got started, I wouldn't stop. So I just kind of gritted my teeth and went, okay.
Yeah, I'm actually really grateful right now to not be on the ship.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, I don't have sea legs.
No, well,
I think that's because we went so slow
the,
coming into Victoria.
the last leg of the journey, they took it really slow. They could have gotten in Seattle really quickly.
Like 3 o'clock this morning.
They could have. Well, they did in 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
but they could have
that's
gotten
true.
there sooner than that. But they didn't because they took it slow, so it'd be easy on everybody.
Now, imagine this. You're hungover because you went to bed drunk.
Yeah.
And they are pulling into Seattle. And the whole ship's shaking because the motors are going, you know.
That was
they're
fun.
pulling really hard. Can you imagine? You're going to think you're having an earthquake. And I think it would have been hilarious to see some of these people try to jump up out of bed and go to the door and put their arms up like, earthquake, earthquake. But it was hilarious. The most fun I had, though, and I say this sarcastically, was when we hit some rough seas, and I was trying to use the bathroom.
Yeah, that was
It
like
was
our
one of
first
those, you put your feet out, you put your hands out, and you hang on, because you're going to get pitched everywhere.
That was our first or second
It was
night. wasn't it?
hilarious. That was the first night out,
First
I think.
night. And the toilet itself is kind of fun. It's like this real high pressure vacuum thing. You have to close the lid, not only for safety, but to get it to work.
Right.
And it just,
You don't want to be sitting on it when it flushes. Believe me.
Yeah.
They've had people get stuck on them.
which is why they
because-
had the mechanism of it wouldn't even work unless
Right.
you had the seal down.
Right. So, it is kind of funny. And you would think they would be really loud, but the bathrooms must be encased in sound dampening
Yeah,
stuff
'cause
because
it's
you
not
can't
as-
hear them out in the stateroom very much.
It's not as
so.
loud, no. Basically, we had fun, and if you're thinking about a cruise, you just want you to know what you're getting yourself into.
If you go to Alaska, may I suggest you do it later in the year? June, July. I would watch August because you're starting back the other way, you know, and you're also looking at hurricane season. And while we don't get them much on the West Coast, you're going to get the storms and you're going to get the rough seas and
Don't go mid-May.
no.
Either go before or after, because they both have their own reasons. Before is good if you really want to try to catch the aurora borealis.
Right.
The sooner you go to the Alaskan winter, the better chance you have there.
Right. We didn't get to see it.
Later,
so.
you have a better chance of the whales being in.
Right. Once the weather warms a little bit, they come a little further north.
We came in the awkward in-between point where we could have had a chance of either, but we wound up with neither.
Right, because his vacation would have been out the end of the month.
I had
and,
to do it when I did it.
we just took it and went from there. So, there's that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I mean, Alaska's beautiful if you get out, you know, way beyond the tourist traps and the this and the that.
Well, they don't give you time for that.
But you don't have time for that. I mean, that would be your excursions like on the Alaskan Railway that goes through there.
And that costs, it might be worth your while, but that does cost a little bit to do that.
Right. And make it easy on yourself, get a passport.
Yes.
You can use your birth certificate, your social security card, and a photo ID. But if you have your passport, it's already got your photo on it,
That's
it's already
much
got your
faster.
information, you just slap it down there, they go, yep, and off you go. But, you know, either way works. We sailed through without any problem at all. Be prepared if you have any metal replacements in your body to get pat it down because you will.
She did every time.
And I will when we get on the plane tomorrow,
Yeah.
both places probably. But it's not a big deal. It's for our safety. And I believe that I don't have a problem with it, okay? It's not that big of a deal. You tell them you have metal knees, you show them your scars on your legs, you know.
They'll run the wand down,
beeps
that's it.
when it goes across. My bra straps get it, they touch me there, and I'm like, see, just bra straps. You know, and they're doing it just to keep other people safe as well as you. I mean,
Yeah.
they do it to other people. It's not, that's why I can't understand why people get so bent out of shape. Big deal.
It's for everyone's safety.
I mean, big deal. It's not like it's a sexual thing.
No.
You know, they're just making sure you're not hiding things. And trust me, some people, when I weighed 400 pounds, I could have hidden just about anything in the fold of my stomach. I seriously could. And I understand. I get it. So be patient. You know, take your patient pills before you leave home. If you need a booster when you get to the airport, be sure and get that patience booster because you're going to need it. We got delayed 2 hours. And that put us 4 hours late getting into right here, where we are right now.
We were so grateful to get there, though.
But we were. And they let us on the boat early. I mean, excuse me, the ships carry boats, sorry.
Yeah.
But they let us on early. We weren't supposed to be able to get on until 2:30. They let us on at 12,
Something like that.
which was nice because we went up, got something to eat, put our stuff in our stateroom,
Yeah, everything was
just
all ready
wandering
to
around
go.
looking at the ship, and it was great. It really was. And the onboard production shows.
Oh, the productions were great.
Watch them. They had a magician. They had
A comedian.
a comedian. Thank you.
They had original off-Broadway shows
Yes.
written by Broadway producers.
Right. The one, let's see, Magic to Do?
Magic to Do.
Magic to Do.
Actually had the magician as part of the cast.
Yes, he did. Yes, it did. Was it that one that was written by the guy that wrote Wicked? No, it was the first one.
First one was the guy who wrote Wicked.
Who-
The second, Magic to Do, was done by the guy who wrote Pippin.
Which is the same guy that wrote Wicked.
Okay, but then the third
And,
one, I don't know who that wrote.
I
that
don't
one.
know, but I tell you know, they're copywritten. They'll tell you no video, no still photography, and they mean it.
I mean, I didn't even try.
No.
I mean,
No. I mean, we took a picture
first off,
of
they
the sign, but
First
you
off, they
know.
requested it, but that's yeah.
So,
And
you know.
I honor those requests.
And
Just like even though I could show the guy in Skagway who looked like Santa Claus kicking me out of the Christmas Village,
Christmas Village. yeah.
I won't I won't use that recording.
I'll tell you
use
what,
the
we
one
will.
from the outside.
We will, we found someone who is actually better than Santa Claus.
Oh, wait, back to the jeweler again.
Yeah, Johnny is
Okay.
better than Santa Claus, and I told him so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you want his name,
Yeah,
privately message us.
because we do
And
have
we'll
his
give it to
business
you.
card. We could let you know that.
We'll give it to you.
And he will mail stuff out if you.
Yes, he will. And, you tell him your limit, and he will. My God, he bent over backwards for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. He really did.
He did really well.
He really
I'm still
did.
convinced he made a profit, even though he sold really cheap.
He made a profit. We got a
We got some everything.
Amylite. We got an Amylite ring for Christian, my grandson.
Everything we
And,
bought from him at that time, anyway, he had as 70% off.
70 to 75% is what he gave us.
And I'm still convinced he made money.
Oh, absolutely, he did.
Off us. He wasn't just being nice because we were the only people who came in that day so far. We were
Right,
his first
right.
customers.
And he, nobody else came in because they went to Diamonds International where they were told to go. We had, on the
Where
way
they were
up,
told
we
to
had,
get fleeced.
we had Miss America, well, she wasn't Miss America, she was a contestant.
2008 or 2009.
2009, Miss Texas.
Miss Texas. She didn't win, but she was Miss
Her name
Texas.
was Kimberly something.
Something.
I
It was like-
have the paper.
We
over
wound
there,
up getting cramped in a shuttle in
Ketchikan.
Ketchikan, and I wound up actually like hip to hip with her in that shuttle. Not that it matters, but it was interesting.
Yeah. She was a sweet down home Texas girl, but she got paid
Oh.
to send you to Diamonds
She
International,
was clearly
to
paid
Tanzanite
off.
International, and believe me, she got paid off in jewelry, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
ship paid her, and we were told that the jewelry stores paid the ship, and I will not disclose how much they paid, but we were told that they paid the ship to send the customers their way.
Yeah, it's part of an advertisement deal.
And I would not doubt that.
It was
I
a
would not doubt
disgusting
that
amount
at
of
all.
corruption, but I'll do, whatever.
That's their problem.
Take that with a grain of salt if you go on a cruise like that. Stuff like that happens.
But take my advice and look for the family-owned,
Diamonds are forever.
jewelry stores.
That's what that was called.
It's it's to your benefit. Seriously, it is.
Okay, well, I think we've stretched this out longer than we
Yep,
really
I
need to.
think we're good.
So until we come up with something else, stay tuned.
And
Keep
stay crafty. And
and all that other stuff.
all right, we'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah.